So you've just got yourself an A1 Mini or an A1 from Bambu Lab, and you want to know, how can I customize it? How can I make it my own? So today I'm going to give you some of my suggestions of the things that I've printed for my printer to kind of change it and customize how it looks to my style. And I'm going to hopefully give you inspiration on how you can change yours to your style as well. And I'm going to give you all the links of them in the description. All the prints today are going to be relevant for the A1 and the A1 Mini. Doesn't matter what it is, I've made sure these are all ones that should work with everything. If you're interested in the Bambu series of printers and my experience of them, hit subscribe. I'm gonna have a bunch of videos coming out over the next couple of weeks at least, just to show you all of my initial impressions. So, onto the first print. For me, it was the Hotend cover. The Hotend is the front panel of the machine itself. You actually get a pretty nice one with a little acrylic bubble around it, but you can also change it to fit a bunch of different styles. You kind of just see the wheels spinning in the background, and it kind of plays with the light really interestingly as you look at it from different angles. I think it's really cool and makes a really big impact to the front of the Hotend. And as a bonus, there's this really cool minimalist scientific extruder cover from Artzang Lotfi. He's actually one of my favorite creators on Maker World, and you'll see a couple of things from him today. This is for those that want the super clean pop of color aesthetic that you get from the light gray and the yellow. Side note on the filament color, the Bambu light gray, not the normal gray, the light gray is actually the best tone if you want to match it to your printer. It's almost exactly the same plastic. And that's what all of my prints are using today. And of course, it's going to be your printer. So I really encourage you to mess around with fun colors and see how you can mix those into your printer to make it pop on your desk, in your office, wherever you have your printer. So the next one is a little interesting. It's something that I haven't really seen people talk about before, but it's actually the rear fan intake. There's actually a little add-on you can put on here that just is purely aesthetic. It does absolutely nothing, but it adds a bit of dimension to that print head. And when you combine a few of these accessories together, it makes a really cool looking Hotend. And the next thing to round out the trio is the side fan cover. And this is the intake fan for the Hotend itself. And after a print is done and the fan's still running, you can actually occasionally hit it with your finger and get a bit of a sting. And I think that's why these fan covers are actually very, very popular. Here's another one from Artzang. There's actually 3 different styles here. I went for the horizontal lines, and I think as a whole set here, it looks really, really cool. And of course, when you're 3D printing, there's a lot of printer poop, especially if you're going to be doing any multicolor stuff. You're going to need a really large poop basket. And here's actually a really nice one that I found. A lot of the baskets tend to be quite plain looking, or really, really overly big, or really, really small. This one I feel like is such a great size. It's got the logo, has that hexagon texture as well, similar to the Hotend, and I think it looks quite nice next to the printer. And you need something to deflect that poop back into that basket. And that's why I use this small deflector from Javentura Designs. They are probably my second favorite designer on Maker World. They also make a really, really nice small enclosed poop bin. That's if you're more organized than me and actually remove the poop semi-regularly. And this gives you an ultra clean look where you don't have to have a basket at the bottom of your printer at all. I'll drop a link for that in the comments as well. And now for something slightly more practical. These are some cable springs that you can attach to the wire that goes across your A1. There's a lot of strain on the bottom of those wires, and these springs alleviate some of that strain and will make the cable last much longer. I also think it puts the cable in a better position where it's not going to start hitting things or rubbing on things. So I really, really like that. Another modification I printed is these cable clips. These are really nice and super minimalist. They attach this power cable and the PTFE tube together, and this just gives you one arch across the printer instead of 2 separate wires that are working differently. These ones I found the best because they fit really snug and are like still very low profile. Even with all the wires moving around, I've had no issues at all with these. That's another recommendation for me if you're really looking for that clean aesthetic. Now, for a bit of a bonus, this bed cleaner. It's basically just 2 pieces of plastic with some microfiber cloth put in between. You just spray a bit of isopropyl alcohol onto your print bed, you wipe this down, and it's super clean. There's no need to worry about paper towels or flaky pieces or waiting for the alcohol to dry. You can just give it a wipe, and you know you're good. I've also printed out some of these mods in a cool steely blue color that I found. And I also think this looks really nice contrasted with the white of the printer. The good thing about all of these prints is they're really fast. You can use any standard PLA and it'll work just great. And that allows you to really experiment with anything you want. So as you can tell, I definitely went for a white on white clean aesthetic, a bit more minimal, but I'd love to see what you guys think. If you have any ideas of what else I could add or anything that you've printed that other people should also see, and drop the Maker World IDs in the comments. And don't forget, like and subscribe. It really helps me out, especially with my channel being so small. I'll see you all in the next one.